Imagine waking up on an ordinary Monday. While others are racing through traffic, checking email, or keeping to schedules, you discover your bank account has grown while you slept. No bosses, no clocks ticking over your time, just assets working silently, generating income for you. That's the difference between living to work and working to live. The rich understood this long ago. They don't trade their time for money. They make that money multiply through assets. And here's the secret. Assets give you freedom, while liabilities steal it away little by little. In this video, we'll explore 15 proven assets, the same ones that have allowed thousands of people to leave the endless race behind and build a life where money flows automatically. It's not about magic or empty promises. It's about understanding how wealth works and learning how to sow in the right soil. Let me ask you a question to start. If you had to choose between continuing to chase money or building something that will work for you for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Stay until the end, because you'll not only discover what these assets are, but also how they can transform your life if you start planting them today. Asset 1. Real estate, the land that never sleeps. For centuries, bricks and mortar have been one of the most loyal guardians of human heritage. Kings, merchants, and entire families understood a truth that has never changed. Land is no longer manufactured. Every square meter available in the world is limited, and that scarcity makes it an asset that tends to grow in value over time. When you buy a property, you're not just buying four walls. You're buying security, stability, and a silent income-generating machine. A rented apartment, a small warehouse, a commercial space, each one is like a planted tree. At first, it barely bears fruit, but over the years, it becomes a fertile orchard that nourishes your financial life. According to World Bank data, on average, the value of real estate in urban areas grows between 3% and 5% annually. It may not seem like much, but that figure compounded over 10 or 20 years transforms a $100,000 investment into more than $160,000, not counting the rents received along the way. Let's take a simple example. Imagine buying a small apartment in a growing city for $80,000. You rent it for $400 a month. That's $4,800 a year in income. In 10 years, you'll have received about $48,000 in rent. And in the meantime, the apartment will probably be worth between $120,000 and $130,000. In other words, you've not only recovered your investment with the rent, but you've also multiplied your capital with the capital gains. That's the magic of this asset. It earns while you sleep and appreciates over time. But be careful, it's not just about buying for the sake of buying. Many fall into the trap of acquiring properties in overcrowded or undeveloped areas and end up with an asset that barely yields any profit. The real strategy lies in studying, identifying developing neighborhoods. Observe the arrival of universities, shopping centers, or public transportation, and understand that a property in the right location is like gold hidden underground. The smart investor doesn't seek a huge immediate income. They seek stability and sustainable growth, because what begins as a modest income can become the foundation of a life without financial worries. Imagine this. A single apartment, well chosen, could cover your food expenses each month. 2 could cover your rent. 3, your entire lifestyle. And the most powerful thing is that these assets don't tire, don't take vacations, or get sick. They work for you every day, even when you close your eyes. Now I want to leave you with a thought. If you had one property today that paid all your basic expenses, how would your life feel? How would your peace of mind change? Leave me your answer in the comments. And if it resonates with you, write this affirmation. Nothing stops me. Everything drives me. Because every building block you acquire can be a silent boost toward your financial freedom. Asset 2. Dividend-paying stocks. The power of being an invisible partner. Imagine becoming a silent partner in companies that move the world. Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson. You don't have to attend meetings, you don't have to lead teams or make strategic decisions, and yet, every quarter you receive a share of the profits they generate. That's the language of dividends, a periodic flow of money simply for owning a piece of the company. Think of it this way. When you buy a dividend-paying stock, you're not just acquiring a piece of paper that rises or falls in price. You're acquiring a right. The right to share in the profits of a company that's already operating, that's already selling, that's already dominating a market. And the best part is that those profits are distributed while you go about your life. To put it into perspective, Coca-Cola has paid dividends for more than 60 consecutive years, increasing them year after year. A $10,000 investment in Coca-Cola 30 years ago, reinvesting the dividends, would be worth more than $200,000 today. Johnson & Johnson, for its part, has increased its dividends for more than 50 consecutive years, a record that demonstrates discipline and solidity. The secret here isn't getting rich overnight, but cultivating a financial forest. Each share is like planting a tree, and each dividend received is fruit you can eat or replant. Those who reinvest dividends are expanding their orchard. What is a few dollars today can, over time, grow into hundreds or even thousands each month. The rich understand something most people ignore. Time is the true multiplier. They don't think in weeks or months, they think in decades. They know that a small seed, with patience, can transform into an oak tree that provides shade and food for entire generations. If you receive $200 a month in dividends, it might not seem like much until you realize that's what many people pay for their phone and internet plans. Now think $500 a month. That could cover your health insurance. And if you reach $1,000 a month, you've practically created a second source of income that sustains your life without having to work more hours. Investing in dividend stocks is like being an invisible partner to giants. They work, produce, and sell, and you receive a share of those victories. It's a reminder that true wealth isn't always built through physical effort, but through financial intelligence and strategic patience. Asset 3. Automated businesses, the absent owner's dream. We live in an era where technology has become the best silent partner for those who know how to leverage it. Today, there are businesses that operate even when the owner is sleeping, traveling, or spending time with their family. These are so-called automated businesses, true systems designed to operate on autopilot. An online store, a one-time digital course, an affiliate marketing system, software with a monthly subscription. Each one is a cog that works without your physical presence. It's like having an invisible army of digital assistants who never complain, never get tired, and never ask for a vacation. In 2023, global e-commerce sales exceeded $6.3 trillion. By 2027, that figure is projected to reach $8.1 trillion. That means that while you're listening to this message, someone on the other side of the planet just bought a product without the store owner lifting a finger at that moment. Imagine waking up in the morning, looking at your phone, and discovering that while you were sleeping, someone in another country downloaded your course, bought your ebook, or purchased a product from your store. You were resting, dreaming, and yet the world kept turning in your favor. That's the magic of automation, separating your time from your income. The key here isn't just creating a business, but building a system. An online store that depends on you manually fulfilling each order isn't truly automated. But a platform with a payment gateway, digital deliveries, and automated customer service systems, that's a self-sustaining business. And the most inspiring thing is that every automated business is a seed with unlimited potential. You record it once, program it once, design it once, and then it can multiply without limits. An online course can be sold to 10, 100, or 10,000 people with the same initial effort. The difference lies in your vision and the structure you build. These types of assets not only generate income, they also generate mental freedom, because they free you from the constant exchange of time for money and teach you something powerful, that your knowledge, your creativity, or your vision can be transformed into products that travel the world on their own. Now I want to make you think. What business would you start if you knew it would run on autopilot? Leave it in the comments, because that answer could be the spark that ignites your own path to financial freedom. Asset 4. Intellectual property. Ideas that pay royalties. There's something deeply inspiring in knowing that what springs from your mind can become an asset that pays you for years, even decades. A song, a book, a patent, a photograph. Every creation is like a seed of eternity. Even if you're no longer around, that work can continue to multiply and bear fruit in the form of royalties. Intellectual property is, in essence, how the world recognizes and rewards ideas. Musicians receive royalties every time their song is played on the radio or on a streaming platform. Writers get paid every time someone buys or downloads their book. Inventors can make a living off a single patent that solves a practical problem and becomes indispensable to an industry. In 2023 alone, the music industry generated more than $26 billion in royalties from streaming, sales, and royalties. The global book market exceeds $130 billion annually. Even lesser-known authors still receive small payments 20 or 30 years after publishing. A well-positioned patent can be licensed for millions. The invention of the barcode has generated continuous royalties since the 1970s. The fascinating thing about intellectual property is that it doesn't depend on how long you work, but on the permanence of the value you created. A writer can write a novel in 1 year, but that novel can sell for 50 years. An inventor can register a patent in a moment of inspiration and ensure steady income for 2 decades, the typical legal protection period for a patent. If you think about it, royalties are a financial echo of a creative moment. You make the effort once, and the world continues to recognize it again and again, paying each time someone benefits from your work. It's a form of economic immortality. Intellectual property also teaches us something powerful. You don't always need startup capital, machinery, or extensive infrastructure to generate passive income. Sometimes an idea, your voice, your pen, your ingenuity are enough. The challenge is not just to create, but to register, protect, and market those creations. Because an unprotected idea can evaporate. A well-protected idea can fund generations. Let me ask you, if you could create something that would generate income for the next 20 years, what would it be? Write it in the comments and accompany it with this affirmation that boosts your creative mindset. Nothing stops me. Everything drives me. Because ideas are like wings, invisible at first, but capable of taking you far if you dare to spread them. Asset 5. Collective real estate investments. Participating without buying. Traditionally, to enter the real estate world, you needed a large amount of capital, buying a house, a piece of land, or an entire building. But today, technology and finance have opened a different door. Collective real estate investments. Here, you don't buy an entire property, but rather a fraction. Through specialized digital platforms, you become a co-owner alongside hundreds or thousands of investors. You receive part of the rent generated, part of the capital gain upon sale, and all without having to worry about finding tenants, repairing damage, or negotiating contracts. Let's look at the numbers. Some real estate investment trusts, known as REITs in the United States, distribute annual dividends ranging from 4% to 8%. On real estate crowdfunding platforms in Latin America and Europe, it's possible to invest from $100 to $1,000, gaining access to projects that were previously reserved for millionaires. According to Statista, the global real estate crowdfunding market will exceed $250 billion by 2030. Imagine this. Previously, buying a building in a big city was reserved for a select few. Today, thanks to this model, you can own a stake in an office complex in Madrid, a hotel in Cancun, or a residential development in Bogotá with a fraction of the money that was previously barely enough for the down payment on a small apartment. The key is to understand that you're not buying bricks and mortar. You're buying access to cash flow. You're participating in a solid, growing market, but with a much lower barrier to entry. It's like having a shared ticket to board the real estate wealth train. Of course, these schemes also have risks. You'll depend on the platform, the solidity of the project, and the transparency of its management. Therefore, researching, diversifying, and understanding the timeframes are essential steps. But beyond the technical details, what this model teaches us is profound. Wealth is no longer exclusive to a select few. Today, there are financial vehicles that democratize access and allow more people to build passive income. Asset 6. Franchises, the proven system. Investing in a franchise is like buying a treasure map where the route is already mapped out. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or risk designing a business from scratch that might fail. What you're buying isn't just a location or a product. You're buying a proven system, backed by a recognized brand, operating manuals, and a flow of customers who already trust that name. According to the International Franchise Association, franchises in the United States generate more than $800 billion annually and employ millions of people. In Latin America, chains like Subway and KFC expanded thousands of entrepreneurs who invested in their licenses. Most importantly, while around 80% of independent businesses close before reaching 5 years, franchises have a much higher success rate because they start from a model that has already proven to work. Imagine opening a restaurant under a recognized brand. You don't have to worry about inventing a recipe, creating a logo, or designing advertising campaigns. From day one, people know what you sell, how you sell it, and they trust you because you're part of a global brand. What you buy isn't just a business, but an asset that runs on autopilot, sustained by the experience, logistics, and reputation of an entire company. You become the local owner, but the marketing machinery, menu design, supply chain, and constant innovation are already taken care of. Obviously, access comes at a price. A McDonald's franchise can cost between $1 and $2 million, while smaller franchises can start at $10,000 or $50,000. The initial investment is steep, but profitability can be sustained for decades. And this is where mindset plays a key role. Many see it as a huge expense, but investors understand that buying a franchise is a bridge to secure, recurring income. If you could acquire a proven system already designed to attract clients and generate sales from day one, would you dare to take that step? Leave your answer in the comments and also write this affirmation that connects with your ability to move forward without brakes. Nothing stops me. Everything drives me. Because every time you make a strategic financial decision, you're not just buying a business. You're buying time, security, and a path to financial freedom. Asset 7. Index funds, the wisdom of diversification. Not everyone was born to be a financial analyst. Not everyone has the time or desire to spend hours staring at candlestick charts, economic news, and corporate balance sheets. And yet, almost all of us want our money to grow. This is where index funds come in, one of the most powerful, simplest, and, paradoxically, most ignored tools. Imagine a giant basket in which, with a single investment, you become a shareholder in hundreds or even thousands of companies at the same time. It's as if by buying a share, you automatically own pieces of Apple, Google, Amazon, Nestlé, Toyota, and many more. To understand its greatness, let's look at some facts. The most famous index fund in the world, the S&P 500, brings together the 500 largest companies in the United States. Historically, this index has yielded an average annual return of 10% over the past 5 decades. That means that if someone had invested $10,000 in 1980, they would have over $750,000 today, without having done anything more than let their money work. Furthermore, management costs are incredibly low. While an actively managed fund can charge fees of 1% or more, index funds typically charge just 0.05% or even less. The true gem of this asset lies in its automatic diversification. It doesn't matter if a company goes down or goes through a crisis, because there are hundreds more balancing the scales. It's like traveling on a giant ship. Even if the waves rock, the vessel remains steady. This explains why legendary investors like Warren Buffett have openly stated that for most people, the best strategy isn't to pick stocks, but simply to buy index funds and hold them for decades. In fact, Buffett left written in his will that a large portion of his inheritance to his wife would be invested in an S&P 500 index fund. Investing in an index fund isn't chasing the thrill of the moment, it's sowing for the future. It's telling your money, work for me, even when I'm sleeping, traveling, or enjoying time with my family. Asset 8. Digital rights, the gold of the new age. There was a time when wealth was tied to land, then to oil, then to factories. But today, in the midst of the digital age, a new gold is quietly circulating: digital rights. Every video, app, software, song, or online course can become an asset that automatically generates income. The fascinating thing is that you don't need to be present or repeat your efforts. You create once, and the asset continues to work for you in the digital universe. Think of YouTube, a channel with just 100,000 subscribers that publishes engaging content can earn between $1,000 and $5,000 per month from advertising alone, depending on the niche. That's not even counting sponsorships, memberships, or associated digital products. Or consider the case of app developers. A simple but useful app with a $5 per month subscription model and just 2,000 active users already generates $10,000 per month in recurring revenue. And when it comes to scalable software, the numbers skyrocket. A SaaS, software as a service, with 5,000 customers at $20 a month generates $100,000 a month. The key concept here is infinite scalability. A song can be played millions of times on Spotify. A course can be sold in 50 countries while you sleep. An ebook can be downloaded millions of times without printing a single page. The initial effort is limited, but the economic impact has no ceiling. In other words, digital rights are modern royalties. Just as a writer received a check for every book sold, today a digital creator receives micropayments for every play, every download, every license. And most powerful of all, thanks to the internet, distribution is global and practically immediate. The question isn't whether this digital gold exists. The real question is, what are you creating to participate in it? Because every day that passes, someone somewhere in the world uploads content, develops an app, or launches a course that in 5 years will give them the freedom many still dream of. Leave me your answer in the comments. If you could create a digital asset that would generate income every month, what would you do? A channel, an app, a course, a game? I want to read your ideas. And accompany your answer with this powerful affirmation: I am prosperous and I attract wealth. Because every click, every download, and every play can be a seed that blossoms into financial freedom. Asset 9. Renewable energy, profiting from the sun and the wind. The future isn't a distant promise, it's already here, shining in every ray of sunlight and blowing in every gust of wind. And the most powerful thing is that this future pays off. Every solar panel installed, every wind turbine in operation is a passive income-generating machine. The logic is simple but transformative. Every kilowatt of clean energy produced becomes money. And best of all, it's an inexhaustible production as long as the sun and wind are present. A 5-kilowatt residential solar panel system can generate, on average, between $600 to $900 in savings or income per year, depending on the region and electricity rates. Scaled to a commercial level, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars annually per installation. At the industrial level, a 1-megawatt wind farm can generate around 2,000 to 3,000 megawatts per year, equivalent to revenues exceeding $200,000 annually, depending on power purchase agreements. And if we think long-term, the initial costs of these projects are amortized in 5 to 8 years, while the useful life of a solar panel exceeds 25 years. That means decades of positive cash flow. It's not just about financial returns, it's also about a new paradigm. In the 20th century, oil magnates ruled the world. In the 21st century, clean energy owners will hold the keys to wealth. Investing in renewables is like sowing in fertile ground that never runs dry. It's like having a tree that bears fruit every day and also contributes to a healthier planet. That's the magic,
an asset that combines utility, profitability, and purpose. Tomorrow's wealth is written on panels that capture the light and on turbines that dance with the wind. Those who invest today will not only enjoy financial returns, they will also be the owners of an inexhaustible stream of prosperity. And now, tell me in the comments, do you see yourself as part of this energy revolution? Accompany your answer with a powerful affirmation. Nothing stops me. Everything drives me. Because just as the wind moves the turbines and the sun powers the panels, the energy of your decision is what ignites your financial future.
Asset 10. Your own brand. The asset that never depreciates. Of all the assets you can build, there's one that knows no inflation, recession, or borders: your personal brand. Your name, your reputation, your essence. That's what truly opens doors. Think of figures like Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, or Richard Branson. Their companies have changed over time. They've faced crises, even declines. But their personal brand remains a driving force that attracts trust, capital, and opportunities. When your name carries weight, every idea you launch is more likely to succeed. According to Nielsen studies, 92% of people trust recommendations from individuals more than traditional brands. That means your voice, your reputation, can have more influence than a large company. In the digital world, so-called personal brand creators can generate income ranging from $50,000 to several million per year, depending on how they monetize their audience: books, courses, mentorships, conferences, their own products, or even collaborations with large companies. A strong brand multiplies the value of all your other assets. If you have a book, it sells better. If you launch a course, more people enroll. If you seek investors, they trust you more quickly. Building your brand is like creating a personal index fund. Every action, every word, every value you convey adds points in people's minds. And over time, the compound effect causes your influence to grow exponentially. The difference is clear. Money may fluctuate, markets may fall, but your brand travels with you. If you lose everything today and have a strong brand, tomorrow you can rebuild any project. That's the power of this invisible but invaluable asset. Your personal brand isn't what you say about yourself, but what others think when they hear your name. It's your financial and emotional imprint on the world. Now you know, there are 10 assets that can generate passive income even while you sleep. The rich don't rely solely on a salary. They build systems, properties, investments, and brands that work day and night for them. The real question is, will you continue trading hours of your life for money, or will you start sowing assets that work for you? I want you to close this video with a symbolic act. Write in the comments, "I choose to sow assets." That phrase will be your personal declaration of independence. And if you want to continue receiving content that inspires you, teaches you, and reminds you that financial freedom is possible, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Because every week, together, we continue to build a path to abundance. While others sleep, you can be awakening to your freedom.